All right, this one is about fearing the fear. It's when you create an alarm and you resist yourself in a way. So I'll explain. I remember I went through a period of this, and the solution is like, it's a relief, right? It's easy, somewhat easy, but when you don't know, right? So I remember in the, near the first year of my journey, I was working on my symptoms, right? And then I would get anxiety. My alarms would send me, my limbic system would send me.
At the roundabout, take the second exit and stay on Homer Watson Boulevard.
I would get anxiety and, an anxiety attack. And I remember the one time it happened, I was doing something during the day. The day was easy. I was like, okay, having a good day. I'm doing my visuals. I'm, just another day doing the work, whatever. This is before I knew all the new methods. This is, before I changed my ways, right? And then around 11 o'clock, I was hit with an anxiety attack. Okay, fine. But this one was a little different because it kind of happened from, I created the anxiety attack. So I think I was scared about something, and I was having an anxiety attack, and I was scared of the anxiety attack, so the anxiety attack kept going. And it started creating this momentum. And I was like freaking out. I couldn't get out of it. No matter what I tried to do, I was running down the hallway back and forth, freaking out, going, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? And then I was like, I gotta go to my mom's. Fuck this shit, I gotta go to my mom's. I'm like running down the hallway going, fuck. Freaking out, screaming, going, fuck, get out of my head. I was calling my mom. I go, it's like a fucking monster is getting me. And then my dad on the other, he's in the car, in the SUV, on the phone, going, put the monster in the cage then. I'm like, okay. And it was bad advice, but whatever. They meant well, right? They're like, we'll be home soon. Actually, my mom's Mexican, so she's got this Mexican accent. We'll be home soon. Put the monster in the cage, okay? Like, all right. So I was freaking out, trying to put this monster in the cage. I was in my room trying to, get rid of this fucking anxiety attack. It just would not fuck off. And it's different than what I had before when I was in a constant panic for 3 months, where that wouldn't shut off. This was different because it was like an insane anxiety attack that just wouldn't leave me alone. So then I drove to my mom's. Of course, I was freaking out in the car all the way over there. I was exhausted. I get there and I run up the stairs in the place, and I go to her, her bed, and I just lay down. And I'm like, holy fuck, this is her. And then my mom's talking to me. I'm like, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. And then I'm like hyperventilating and shit. And then it started fucking with me, with my vision. Like, I started looking at her, and her face started to morph. She's like, it is okay. You're having an anxiety attack. It's okay. Relax. Sit down. Right? And when she's talking to me, I'm like, her face is like turned into a skull, like, right? She turned into like a demon. While I'm like, holy fuck. And I was like, my muscles were so tense because I was in a permanent flex from my head through my torso. I was like, right? Because I was resisting so heavily, right? And then somehow we were talking about other stuff, and I know now I was engaging in other things, and it fucked up. Okay. Next day, I remembered, I'm like, oh fuck, man. I hope it doesn't happen again. Because that was fucking scary. I don't want to be stuck again. Right? When you fear the fear, you're anticipating that it's coming back, and you're looking around for it. And when you look around for the anxiety attack that you're fearing, well, guess what? Your brain's perceiving danger. It's going to send you it back. So I was at the Wendy's drive-thru. I was like, yeah, I'll have 3 beef patties with extra cheese. This is where I can only eat meat and rice. But Wendy's, you can't get rice. So I was like, I'll get 3 patties, blah, blah, blah. And I order something, and all of a sudden, I look, it's almost 11. Boom, it hit me in the drive-thru. I was like, holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck. And I could feel it going, I'm like, all right, let's just get home. Let's just get home. That's all we got to do is, blah, blah. And while I was trying to, focus on getting home, it kind of stayed at bay, but it was ready to launch. So I went home. I couldn't eat. Fuck that. The fucking burger. I just threw it in the corner, went home, and I freaked out. Again, I'm like, fuck, is this going to last all day? So it lasted all day. Same shit. And I was calling my mom. She's like, you're having an anxiety attack. It's okay, relax. When people, they don't understand. Well, my mom used to have anxiety attacks, right? The same shit. So I tried to relax. I was sitting on the couch. It was like, okay, just, count backwards. Doing all the shit that they teach you online, right? Look at the trees. What's in your room? Okay, there's the TV. I used to like watching TV. There's a TV anxiety attack. Anxiety, you're gonna die. You're gonna fucking... Right, I went right back to it. And of course, I was causing more resistance, so the alarms were going... Then it went... It was like it was eating me up alive, and I was resisting so hard that my muscles are so sore, and I had to stop flexing. It was crazy. And I was crying, I was shaking, I was so fucking shaking. I was shaking so hard. And then near the end of the day, it kind of lifted, right? And I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, it's going to happen again. So the next day, I prepared. I went to my mom's. 11 o'clock rolled around, of course. Full-blown anxiety attack. Shit show again. And then, I'm like, I got to fucking Google, YouTube this shit. There's got to be I'm like, dude, you're that's like finding a needle in a haystack. Good luck finding the, everybody says the same thing. Everybody tells you to resist it. So it's not going to work. But I got lucky somehow. And I stumbled upon the OG of anxiety, Claire Weeks. I think that's how you say her last name. And I started to read some stuff online, watch a couple of her videos, and she talked about don't resist it because what you resist persists. It's like saying don't think about purple tigers, right? What's the first thing you're gonna do? Like, you can try your best, and nobody in the world, impossible. If I were to say don't think about purple tigers, there's no way in hell that you're not gonna be able to think about yellow tigers. It's not gonna happen. Now you're thinking about yellow tigers. So I was like, holy fuck, okay. And it said to allow the thought to be there. Don't fight it, don't resist it. And I'm like, yeah, I was fighting with my thought. I was fighting with myself. I was like, right? So that's why at 11 o'clock I was anticipating it, and my brain was sending me an alarm to perceive danger. So it was the fear of the fear was sending an alarm on an alarm. I was getting an alarm on an alarm. There we go. Okay. So what I had to do was allow the alarm so that the second alarm wouldn't ring. So I tried it. I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm going to allow it. And it passed through my chest, dissolved, went out the back, and I got some relief. Sure, I was still anxious, right? But it was fine. I was used to that. But this crazy war zone finally went back on standby, right? I wasn't fearing the fear anymore. I was allowing the fear, letting it do its thing, inviting it in, asking for more. And I think Claire Weeks said, picture it as a cloud passing through you. Because when you picture it, this is how you know that you're allowing it. So as soon as I watched that video, 30 minutes later, because I was watching the video on my mom's iPad or a tablet, and she's thinking, okay, he's upstairs, he's going crazy. having an anxiety attack, blah, blah. And then I come downstairs. I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. She's like, what are you doing? I thought you okay? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, good. Okay, have a good day. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, I stopped fighting it. I just allowed it. I asked for more and I just went away. She's like, good, good, good. So then from then on, the next day, when 11 o'clock rolled around, instead of me anticipating it and freaking out and getting ready to survive through this alarm, I invited it in. I'm like, where are you, buddy? I know it's 10:50, but let's start early, right? And nothing. And then I started laughing. And I felt a little bit. I'm like, okay, come on, buddy. More. A little bit, nothing. And then like 2 months later, it happened again. And I remembered, oh, yeah, allow it. Well, because I was already practicing the new methods, right? By allowing all my symptoms and alarms and, thoughts and looping OCD thoughts. So panic attacks, anxiety attacks, fearing the fear all across the board had the same fix. I'll make separate videos about panic attacks and, anxiety attacks. But this one was different because it was an alarm that I created because I was resisting my thoughts. It was an alarm on an alarm, and the brain perceived danger on something I created. The brain's like, Helmut, you're freaking out. Something's going on here. Let's amplify this shit. And then I had to let the first alarm be, so the brain goes, oh, he's fine. We don't need more alarms. This is getting ridiculous. This is getting fucking ridiculous. All right, just leave him alone. Right? And relief. So much relief. It was so good. And other than the OCD looping thoughts, that kind of alarm takes time to shift, right? It takes time to change the program. But there's the alarms that are instant. The now alarms right now, and we'll fuck off right now. And there's the ones that are right now, but we're gonna go in waves. And the waves will lessen in time when you change the program persistently with repetition. So yeah, there's different forms of alarms, and this one was one that I was fearing the fear. That's that's the best description I could think of. And a lot of you might know what I'm talking about. There were people that I asked, before I found the solution, people I was asking for advice while I was Googling, and I had a couple of coaches at the time. Some of the gurus online were saying, just count backwards and look in your environment, look at the trees, try to be in the present moment. Bullshit. That doesn't work. To hide from an anxiety attack, forget it. You're just resisting. And I had one of my coaches tell me, well, if it's happening at 11 o'clock a.m., how do you feel at 11 p.m.? I'm like, I'm fine. Okay, so when it happens at 11 a.m., pretend it's 11 p.m. Watch. Try it. Shit didn't work. But, hey, she tried. Whatever. My coaches always tried to help me. And, 99% of the shit that I saw online was garbage and just made me, it just made the anxiety worse. It made the panic attacks worse. It made the OCD fucking into this big monster, right? And not only that, it started to create triggers, right? When you resist to a certain point far enough, it starts to create triggers, snapshots of time that it puts in your file folder. So when, the next time you go near there, or you think about something that's about near that subject, it rings. It's like a booby trap. So, yeah, so if you're fearing the fear, just allow it. Ask for more. Let it float through you like a cloud. And this is the same method that I use for intrusive thoughts, OCD looping thoughts, symptoms, right? The what if thoughts, everything. It's like the fix is the same thing across the board, right? You're taking away the resistance. And when you take away the resistance, your baseline's able to start to calm down to a new baseline, and then your alarms start to turn off, and then you don't get these false alarms scaring the shit out of you. So fearing the fear. When you created the alarm, just allow it to do its thing and let it burn out instead of resisting it, running away from it. It was so intense. Oh man, it was so intense that even like my periphery, things were changing color. Like the room was going all yellow and dark, like black and yellow, and faces were morphing, and people were like, "It is okay." You were. I'm like, fuck. And I knew, like, when that happened, when things started morphing, I wasn't scared about that because I knew it was my anxiety attack was so intense that my brain, was just not. It was just going haywire. So shit was morphing, right? Whew. Good times. And the great thing is, once you have these methods and you have them down and you get how it works and they click, it's very rare that you'll ever get a panic attack ever again in your life, right? You never get an anxiety attack. You will never get a panic attack ever again, because when it happens, if it happens, which it won't, if it were to happen, you laugh at it. You're like, are you serious? This is funny. This is like a walk in the park. I almost like this a lot. It's a joke. It can't. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. And that's, I don't get panic attacks. I don't get anxiety attacks. And I used to get them before my shit show, Perfect Storm. On average, I used to get them maybe, once a month. For 10 years, once a month, panic attack, right? You forget, you think you're having a heart attack. You forget how I used to forget how to breathe. Did I just exhale or inhale? Oh my God, right? Those were just the normal life panic attacks that people, I think the average population gets once in a while. And then there's some people that have never had a panic attack. They have different forms of anxiety, like the anxiety of, am I going to do good on this test? Am I going to pass my driver's test? Am I going to, normal life anxiety. That's normal. But getting something for no reason, right? That's just a false alarm. And I used to get them once in a while. But then when you're going through the shit show journey of brain retraining and recovery, you can now get all kinds of alarms, all kinds of anxiety, all kinds of panic attacks, all kinds of feelings, thoughts, intrusive thoughts, OCD looping thoughts, symptoms that keep moving around. So it's a crazy roller coaster. And this is just one of the forms of anxiety that was scary. And it's all about the information, right? When you know what's going on, it has no power, right? The monster goes poof, deflates. It's like gone, right? Knowledge is everything. And the other half to that is doing, experience, the wisdom from making the mistakes and the failures and having the experience, the clarity. Oh yeah, I did that. This is what I learned, blah, blah, right? That's the other half. So having the map is the one part, but actually the journey is the other part that gives you the wisdom, which is really important. And I ask you to please subscribe and like, because it helps the algorithm pick up these videos, and more people will see these videos, and I can help more people that way. I want to grow my YouTube channel. I'm hoping my projection would be in 2 years, if everybody can help me out. In 2 years, I want it to hit 200,000 subs. That's my goal. So it's, it really helps me out when you subscribe, like, and share. Really appreciate it. Awesome. All right. Have a good day.